Are you doubting, wondering where's your manifestation, or if this even works? I'm living in the end. I'm living in the wish fulfilled. Why hasn't my desire show up? Where's my manifestation? Why is it taking too long? I'm living in the end. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. Why isn't it here? Isn't it supposed to come? I am doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. It seems like this is a question that hasn't been resolved, and I got this recently on my channel, so I'm here to talk about time with you guys. What's up, Johnny here. I'm really glad you're here today, wherever you're at in the world. If you do need some help and you do need some guidance and some one-on-one coaching, do check out the link below. In this video, we talk about time, the causes, what's holding us back. Stay tuned till the end because I have a very rare Neville method that maybe it's out there, but I've never seen it, or I don't hear much of it, or not even at all. This method is about tapping into your future self, and you're walking into a portal and bringing that reality, that future reality, back into the vacuum of space, back to your present moment. And Neville talks about this vacuum of space, and we'll talk more of that at the end of this video. So what is causing a lot of the issues of why we're not getting the things that we want when it comes to time? And when it comes to time, it causes a lot of things. It causes anxiety, fear, frustration, and also the lack. And when we start questioning the time and how long it's going to take, we are not, to be honest, being in the wish fulfilled if we're already asking that question, because we're not living in that end, in that state. If we were in that state, we wouldn't be asking these questions because it's already here, it's already ours. But since we are not, and we're asking these questions to ourselves, what is happening is that we are re-impressing the subconscious mind with those thoughts. And when we impress those thoughts again back into our self, then we're going back into the old self. So we have not shifted into the new self, into the new being, into that person that already has that desire, because we've already questioned our own mind. And like I said in the last video, the man who believes in their mind is the one that's going to bring upon their reality. So having belief and faith in the mind is what's going to create it. But since we're questioning and doubting our own mind, this is what's happening. It's going back into the subconscious. Neville states that the reason why we have a lot of issues with time is because we are the ones putting these rules. We are the ones putting the restrictions on us, and also the constrictions. We are putting labels and limits onto our reality. And when we put these limiting factors into that, then of course none of it could ever come into fruition, because only you can put a specific time on how long something should take. So let's say that there are two people and they both have the same manifestation. However, each person has their own perception of reality and what time is. The one person might think, oh, that's super easy. I'll get that done by the end of the week. That should be no problem at all. But the second person is like, I don't even know if that's even possible. The path that I'm going down, I think it's probably going to take about maybe, 6 months, maybe I think a year would probably be more feasible for me. We need to understand that the interval of time is relative, which means that two individuals with the same thought or the same meaning of time, their realization of their desire can happen at different moments because of their belief on time and how long things take. So what we really need to understand here is that we're the ones that need to decide the natural length of time for us to get our manifestation. Since we're putting a time on it, we do not want to force or rush or be anxious about our manifestation that's going to come to us, because it's going to put us back into those vibrations, right? Those fear, lack, not having, and all those other vibrations or frequencies that put this back out into your subconscious that it doesn't exist in your reality. So we shouldn't be in a hurry into receiving our manifestation. So we decide and pick a natural one. Now, obviously, when we understand, well, if you are demanding, right? And let's say, for example, and you're anxious and you're hurry and you want something quickly and you say, I want a brand new house. We don't know how that house is going to come about for us. In fact, that exact house that you have in your imagination, that you have inside your mind, is actually being built right now from scratch, from the ground up. And because we're wondering a month down the road or 3 months down the road or 6 months if it takes that long to build this house, and we're asking where's our manifestation, we go back into lack. Instead, we should know that this house is being built and it's being built specifically for you. When there's infinite possibilities of how things can be done, that's why there is a natural time of when something can come into fruition, right? So it's also like the appointed hour Neville would talk about as, a baby takes 9 months or a horse takes a year, an egg hatches in how long, right? So everything has its moments. But do we wait for that moment to happen? When we're living in the end, there is no lack of it coming to us, right? Because it's already expected. We have already expected it. It is already something that's you're not wanting anymore because it already is. It's the knowing, right? And we have to realize that it's really hard to swallow something like this, that the only thing that is stopping us from getting our manifestation is ourselves. There's nothing outside of you that is stopping you from getting the manifestation you want. In fact, the universe, the all, the infinite intelligence, the source, or however you want to call your higher being, your higher self, wants you to live the life of your dreams. It wants you to have the things that you want. But when you keep second guessing yourself and second guessing and questioning your own mind, then you don't have belief in your own mind. So when you don't have belief, then the belief in fate, the faith, then nothing will ever come into existence, because you have to remember that everything is consciousness. You are that, the I am that, whatever it is, I am that. It is done. I am, right? All that is, everything is you creating, right? So we put these roadblocks in front of ourselves. There is no one creating these but us. The circumstances that come into our lives, whether we hate it or not, or believe it or not, it is our own self that is creating these roadblocks. Let's say that you just shifted your idea of yourself like a week ago, right? Or it's just an example. And all of a sudden you see a roadblock. You say, well, I changed everything about me, but I still see roadblocks. You got to remember that your whole life up into the present moment, you've been manifesting and putting these thoughts and planting these seeds. And what's happening is that these things are starting to come into fruition now, whether they're negative, positive, good, bad, good, evil, difficulties or successes, right? Every one of these events are happening now that you've been planting over time, whether you were consciously aware of those things or not, that you are creating those. But since we have shifted and we've decided on our new beliefs, that now we are on this new timeline. So now we should slowly start seeing a lot of those dissipate and just fade away as our new life begins and we start planting new seeds for the future. However, now I'm going to share with you guys this method, which will make you time travel to your future self. And this future reality will become your present reality. And this is one of Neville's methods. I'm just naming it. I don't know what to name it, but I would just call it time traveling to your future self. But in this method, obviously we need to find somewhere where I highly recommend somewhere comfortable, a chair, bed, couch, laying back in your car, or wherever you have 5-10 minutes to do this. And before that, I just want to talk to you guys about, the days and shifting into this reality is that every day Monday through Sunday, right, that we would associate a specific feeling or emotion to that day, right? As like Friday, everyone's excited that it's Friday because it's their last day of work, and then they got Saturday and Sunday, right? So Friday is more an exciting day, right? Or Wednesday, they would call the hump day, right? Because you're barely getting through the week, and some people already look miserable waiting for that Friday to come, right? So, and when we live in that day, right, what would those emotions be, right? Happy, exciting, or, Saturday or Sunday, relaxing, quiet, no one's bothering you, right? So, and also we attach our feelings towards seasons as well, right? Winter, fall, if the weather's a certain thing for the day, right? If the weather was kind of chill, then you're like, oh, this feels like fall today, right? And then you start embodying that feeling of what it is. So we associate our emotions tied to conditions in our reality and our environments. Now that you understand that, right, is that if something is close, right, and you want something quick, then we would imagine ourselves shifted into that day. So if we're on Monday and we need something by Sunday, we would want to shift into Sunday and imagine and embody and feel that Sunday, the sounds you would hear, the experience, who's there, what would it be like, what would you be experiencing, right? Are you getting value out of this? If you are, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are, I really appreciate you. Do comment below and let me know that your manifestation is yours and you're not going to let time stop you from getting the things that you want. What I want you to do is simply, you can do this now for just a minute as I explain this, but it's simply just close your eyes and really imagine the desire that you want. Go ahead and do it. It takes a quick few minutes. That way you actually get accustomed to know what you need to be doing. Just close your eyes and imagine the desire you want. What do you really want? Really decide on that desire. How does that feel, right? So we imagine when we want that desire, that natural time of when it's supposed to come, right? Some things do need time. Like, let's say you entered some sweepstakes, but the drawing doesn't come in 3 weeks, right? And the winner gets, let's say a house, because that's what this is. But there's a lot of drawings that pop up on the internet. What we want to do is imagine ourselves with that desire shifted into walking through this portal. Imagine us walking through a portal, closing our eyes, and going through this door. And when we go through this door, we see our future self. This future self, we want to imagine, what would it be like being there? Embody that. What do you see? Is that desire? Imagine that desire in your hands or around you. Embody what it would feel like, be like, who would be there. And repeat this thought in your mind. If you cannot envision what you're doing, repeat over and over the affirmation of whatever it is that you want. I am so happy now that I'm in my brand new home. I finally get to lay in my own bed in my own home. Imagine that, repeating over and over and over and over this thought. And just one simple affirmation. Doesn't have to be perfect, just something to you that has the meaning of having your desire already, having the wish fulfilled already. Now we lay in that and imagine that. And when we're done with that experience and the sounds and everything we hear and what it would look like there, we should be completely excited about receiving that desire. And when we are done with that moment, we're going to travel back through that door, back through time, through the vacuum of space. And when we create this vacuum of space from that, when we open the door back to our physical present moment, we create a vacuum of space, which will fill with that desire from that moment on. So we put that intention out into the field, out into that future self, and bring that embodiment of that future to this present moment. So when we're living in this moment that we can now open our eyes, we should be feeling and embodying the joy, happiness, and excitement, because that day, that you've already jumped into that reality is coming near. So there's no need to waver from the expectation of that result, that desire, because it already is yours. So expect it. So we live through this day, through the periods of time, and do not fall to the facts of reality or the conditions or the roadblocks or anything that will take you off track. We do not want to fall off track right after we put in this manifestation. That's the thing that I notice people are having problems where we put these intentions, and as soon as we come out of the intention, we've already start doubting. We need to stop that. We have to remain in that wish fulfilled and remain in the conviction, knowing that that desire is already mine. If you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you. Make sure to hit that like button because this does help this get out to people who actually need it. Until then, check out this video here to level up your manifestation.